This is a 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. And well, it's a SUV-ified Mustang, if that tells you anything. This thing is very sleek, it's very curvy, it's very aerodynamic to try and get as much range as it can as possible because, well, this is obviously an electric SUV. As you can see, the front end looks relatively like a Ford and relatively like an electric car with no grill or just a plastic covering the grill. And well, the Mustang logo in the middle tells you that this is not a Honda or a Toyota or even Tesla. This is a Mustang. And well, Tesla doesn't have a Mustang, so you'd automatically know it was a Ford. Now, here's something interesting. The Mustang logo may or may not light up. And I hope Ford chooses to light this Mustang thing up or logo up because, well, I think it would be very interesting if you're driving in traffic and you see an illuminated Mustang logo. Therefore, you know a CRV is not passing you or a Passat is not passing you, but rather a Mustang, which is something that you want because you'd automatically get street cred from everybody on the road who doesn't know what it is. But anyway, I think that that would be very cool if it lit up. And you also get your LED headlights and, well, a very sleek and very clean and curvy design, which is what we all want on SUVs. Now, here are some specs for this car. As you can see, it's going to start at around $43,895 or $44,000, maybe even more if you decide to option this thing up. And it's going to have 300 miles of range or 483 kilometers. And it's going to have 282 horsepower. Keep in mind, this is the base model with rear wheel or all wheel drive. Here's the interior of the all new Mustang Mach-E. As you can see, it looks very similar to an Explorer or anything from this era Ford. It looks pretty normal to me. But it doesn't look too normal to be a Tesla because, well, you know, you'd have everything in that center screen and you wouldn't have a gauge cluster telling you anything. It would just be all in the center screen. But we're going to take a little while just to talk about the interior. Now, the vertical screen, Ford is not the first company to do this. No, no. That would go to Tesla with its Model S way back in 2012, and other car makers started following suit, such as Volvo and Ram and Ford, and a variety of other car companies, as it reminds you more of a cell phone and less of a tablet, which is what you'd want. But anyway, as you can see, the gear shifter down below resembles an Explorer or Fusion or anything like that, which was pioneered way back in 2017. You can see you got your electronic parking brake. And so with all these buttons now going into the screen, you have a lot more room to place storage. But, you know, you're not going completely buttonless like Tesla is. The Model 3 only has two buttons or controls on its steering wheel. That's it. Obviously, Ford has way more to control the cruise control and little things up on top with your gauge cluster and your mirror controls and whatnot on the side, which is easily accessible, which is nice. Next up, we move on to the rear of the 2021 Mach-E, and as you can see, the tail lights are going to resemble a Mustang. A Mustang with a light bar and hatchback. As you can see, it has three vertical lines representing the Mustang tail lights, which I hope that they have sequential turn signals just like the Mustang, but they may or may not do that. The light bar may or may not light up, I'm not necessarily sure, but it looks very nice. The hatchback would also improve a little bit, but you know, you can't take away from what already looks good. Next up, this car has a charge port, which is something that your Escape doesn't have, unless it's a plug-in hybrid, which it's not. But, well, this is an electric vehicle, and so that's the only way this thing will get its fuel is if you recharge it. Just thought I'd point that out. Now the competition, which is the Model X and Model or I-Pace. The Model X starts at $81,000, or nearly double what a Mach-E would cost. And it has a range of 237 miles or 381 kilometers and has 518 horsepower. So it's pretty much sacrificing range for power. And the I-Pace on the right starts at $69,850, which is reasonably priced, at least for a luxury electric SUV, and has a range of 234 miles or 376 kilometers and has 394 horsepower. Now, the Mach-E fits right in the middle of these two, although on the lower end for the price, but it has way more range, roughly 7 or 60 more miles of range, and has about 200 less horsepower than the Model X and 100 less horsepower for the I-Pace. But well, Ford isn't necessarily a luxury company, so they can't charge 75 grand for it because no one's going to pay 75 grand for an SUV from Ford. But you're also getting a little bit more range for a sacrifice of a little less power, which is okay if you're buying the car because you know what you're getting yourself into. And well, while we're on the topic of this, Mitsubishi has done relatively the similar thing with the Eclipse and an SUV. What you're about to see now is an Eclipse Cross, which Mitsubishi didn't do too well on. As you can see, it looks kind of blobby, but it doesn't really look too good. And it's been out since 2018, but it doesn't look too good. And this was Mitsubishi's final gasp of the Eclipse before it went away. And this is what they got. But Mitsubishi isn't the only company to do this. Chevrolet did it with the Blazer, which is just a Camaro. But it looks way better than the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Anyway, the Ford Mach-E, Mustang Mach-E, looks like a very, very promising car that's going to sell well and uproot Tesla and force them to bring down their prices because no one's going to pay 81,000 when they can go around paying 43,000 for the exact same thing, except you don't have doors that open like a pigeon, but that's okay. The rear of the car looks nice, the front of the car looks nice. Everything about this car is going to sell well, it's going to do well, it's going to be a huge cash cow for Ford, which is something that Ford definitely wants if they're killing all of their sedans. This is going to compromise all of their sedans into one car and is going to sell in the millions. As soon as this car comes out, Ford dealers are going to get them and then they're going to go. They're going to have them for all of 3 seconds, literally, and then they're going to go. Ford is going to have to start making charging stations, and it's going to be a real great time for Ford. And well, while they won't have any more sedans or anything like that, they will have this, and of course, they will have the iconic Mustang. And so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.